I'm having so much trouble with this system right now. But I didn't hook up. I got hooked up the Kinect. So it's a little bit better webcam than my webcam was. It's a little bit clearer. We'll see what happens. I'm recording this and doing it live. That way, in case we drop stream, it won't be the messed up problem it was last week. Or last time, Monday. Because last time I did doctor's appointments and it dropped, so I started again, and then it dropped, so I recorded it, and then I deleted an earlier one, so I re-recorded that. So, it's an issue. But, what can you do? Good morning if you're there. Good morning if you're able to be here. I don't think it's working very well. My thing says that it's buffering on your screen, which just really means that I'm just talking to myself. Good morning, Miss Willard. Good morning. How are you? Great. We just had our first advisory at 9 a.m. and I forgot to set my alarm for earlier than 8:45. So I freaked out this morning at 6:30 and woke up and I was awake because I forgot to set my alarm. I don't know if that happens to anybody else. I would like to figure this whole thing out so that way next time I can actually be live, because I think y'all need some either time management or personality management or mental health management, something like that, because I'm getting some weird feedback on the streets about how you're feeling and what you want to be, and we'll probably do that. But I ran out of things that you asked me about, so I'm doing probability today, and I'm doing like the probability that adults wish they remembered, because there was a lot of probability, and there's N's and P's and C's and R's, and that's all I hear about when somebody asks me about probability is, where's the letters, what letters are they, or is it a C or a P? And I don't think that that needs to be that complicated, to be honest. So I'm doing 2 examples today of what makes sense in my life, because I'm sure somebody's going to ask me one day and I'll say, hey, go check out my YouTube channel, so I did this problem already. So let's talk about those. And this is talking about things with replacement and without replacement. Those are the 2 keys to probability. Is, are we replacing the thing, or are we doing it twice? So here's an example. I play D&D. In D&D, there's a bunch of dice. On the bottom corner here, there's 6 different die. There's 7 in our game, but it's okay. There's ones that go from 1 to 4, ones that go from 1 to 6, 1 to 8, 1 to 10, 1 to 12, and 1 to 20. And the 1 to 20 is called a D20. Hey, there is a chat. There are people here that can watch me. So the 1 to 20 is called a D20. They're all called D, whatever the highest number is. And this is an example with a D, or 2D20, which means that I take 2 die and I roll them. Oh, that's a good roll. So what it means when I take 2 die is I either have advantage or I have disadvantage. I might have advantage if I'm good at something. I personally probably have advantage on math checks, which isn't a real thing in D&D, but it should be. If I had advantage, I would take the higher of the 2 numbers, which is a 20. I can also have disadvantage, which is where maybe I'm running from a bear. I would not win at that, so I might have disadvantage. I would take the lower of the 2 numbers, which is a 2. Okay. So what I wanted to figure out was, what are the chances? Good morning, Josie. What are the chances that I have disadvantage, which means I roll 2 die and I take the lower one, and I still get a 20, which means that both the die are a 20. Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. I have this set up here. This section, oops, oh dang. This section right here is the first die. It doesn't really matter as I'm multiplying and it's the same either way, but we're going to talk about this being the first die. So the first die has one of the die is a 20 out of the 20 total numbers on that die. And when I have a problem where I'm going to say and, I want both of them to be a 20. I want a 20 and another 20. That's when I multiply. The other die also has one of them out of the 20. I'm going to tell the chat right now that it's an issue right now with my recording. But it's bad stream quality. Okay. So my first die, I had one option out of the whole 20 options to be a 20, and the other one I had one option out of the whole 20. Notice that both the die are separate. If I roll a 3 on the first die, the other one doesn't automatically lose the option to roll a 3. Some people seem to think that there's only one option, really, or there's only one time that each die can roll each number and then it kind of loses it, but that's not how that works. It just means that over time, it's going to be about one of each out of 20. And then to do this multiplication, I multiply the tops and I multiply the bottoms. So I get 1 out of, guys, I could do this. I get 1 out of 400. And naturally, I didn't do this very well this time. There we go. Naturally, that doesn't mean a lot. But basically, out of 400 times that I have disadvantage, one of them, I'll get a natural 20 on it. Or 2.5%, just about. I think that's pretty cool. In this case, I did not get that. If I had disadvantage, my number would be a 2. That's not good, because that means I probably failed running away from the bear. But hey, later when you see this, good morning, Justine, good morning, Megan, and whoever else is here. It's fine. It'll be okay. It's gonna be fine. Okay, here's the other thing that I know a lot about and people ask me quite frequently, and I wanted to actually figure this out, so I did the math here. I read tarot cards sometimes. So here's my tarot cards. It's not mine. These are 3 that I pulled randomly from the internet. And I'm gonna need a new page, so there we go. So in tarot cards, it's bigger than a standard deck of cards. There's 78 of them. And out of that 78, there's 4 suits and major arcana. So the 4 suits are minors and the major is the other one. The 4 suits are just like a deck of cards, where there's, in a deck of cards, there's hearts, clubs, clubs, diamonds, and clovers, which is not called clovers, clubs. So those are the options when we have that after. Josie's trying to schedule Google Hangout. Those are the options when we have a deck of cards. In a deck of tarot cards, it's swords, wands, pentacles, and cups. Same thing. And you can see over here, there's one with cups, or 2 with cups, and 1 with some pentacles. Now, we're going to just talk about what's called a 3-card spread, which means I pick 3 cards. And what a lot of people think is that in a 3-card spread, it's very rare to get majors, which are about a third of the deck. Not exactly, but roughly. A third to a quarter. So, we're going to calculate here what the chances are that I get 3 major arcana in a tarot deck. So let's do it. Well, this is similar to the last time. My first card I draw, there are 22 major arcana. I need to like stretch this out of the 78 total cards in there. Well, then I take that one out. Let's assume that I do get a major. Well, my next option is there's 21 left, and the deck only has 78 or 77 cards in it now, because I took one out. So my last example was with replacement. I could get a 20 multiple times. This one is I shuffle it, I draw it out, and I don't put it back. So this is without replacement. So when it's with replacement, the number on the bottom does not change. When it's with replacement, when it's without replacement, it doesn't change. So then my third card, I have 20 left that are majors, and 76 of them are in the total deck. And I already did this math, and it's approximately 2%. So there's about 2% chance that I get all majors in a 3-card spread. Now we could do this with way more cards. We could do this with the Celtic Cross, which is, I think, a 10-card spread. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 card spread. We can do the exact same math in a 10-card or a 9-card spread, which would just be 9 of these fractions, where the top number goes down by 1 and the bottom number goes down by 1. And it's going to be very low, because this one in itself was just 2%. So having 9 cards that I'm removing each time would be even less than that. So that's that. Now, last time it was about 2.5%, and this is about 2%. So what I learned from this, oh no, you know what I didn't even do was show you the cards. There they are. I just was on the dice still. So this is a 3-card spread with the, 6 of cups, 7 of cups, and the 9, looks like, of pentacles. Oops, I forgot. But I still showed you all the math, so we're good. So you could also do the same math for what the chances are that all of them are swords, or all of them are wands. You can do the same thing. Now, people who do tarot think, or I do tarot, and I think that like cups are emotions or love or something like that. And so if it's all about cups, it's all about love, and there's a very low chance of that all being cups. And so it's one of those, hey, pay attention kind of things. But it all just comes down to the probability. So what can you do? I wish that I had the real stream open right now, because right now you don't even know I'm talking because it keeps dropping frames. I've dropped 65% of my frames. I don't know what that means or what I'm doing wrong, but this has happened this week. It's all because I took a break or something. I do want to talk about mental health when I actually have a good stream, so hopefully that happens next time. But we'll see. Yuck, yuck, yuck. But I might do more for specific people who are doing like tarot card readings or magic, or like Magic the Gathering, or dice for D&D, because there is a lot of people out there that people who are adults that just kind of wish they remembered basic probability like this. And it makes a lot of sense. They just feel like it was harder when they were in school, because it was. We make it harder. We do things like combinations and permutations, and how many license plates are there in the state, and how many license plates are there now, and we don't even worry about the real issues, like how we don't use I if it's in the middle because it looks like a 1 or an I. Or O, they don't put that in the middle. I think there's one more, but it's only in certain spots that we don't do that. So it happens. But high school probability got super complicated, so people forget the good stuff, like this. The number of cards you want, or the number of cards that you're looking for out of the total number of cards, that's probability. And then we multiply them together, because I want that one, and that one, and that one. By the way, if it was an or, I would add them. If I want the first one to be major, or the second one to be major, or the third one to be major, that's when I add. If they're not connected, this actually wouldn't even work with adding, because it would become more than 100%, but that's how it is. I'm so sad, because love doing this because I get to talk to you as I do it. But that's not the case right now because of this stupid stream health thing where I'm dropping frames and losing people. So and it's stuck on my face, like drinking my tea. So you know what? It's fine. Luckily I recorded this just in case it doesn't load, and that way I don't have to delete anything and accidentally delete something like paying for college and having to do all that again. Luckily that time though, you should go back and watch that one, because after the stream somebody gave me some information that I added to my new, my redone talk, so it's actually worth a second glance because it's specific information that you get when you go to college. I think it's pretty cool. Also I keep getting probably scammers telling me I have a good stream and calling me bro, so I don't think they watched it because I'm not a bro. She, her pronouns, please. Thanks. But hey, I'll see you Friday. We'll figure this whole thing out. I apologize for all of this. And hey, the whole point of this is to collect knowledge, like Corvids collect shiny things.